Remember Bill and Ted? Well, do you remember their animated series? Then buckle into your phone booths, my most outrageous viewers, because we're about to discuss this totally righteous cartoon. Hey guys, I'm McGann, this is the Fangirl, and we're taking another trip down nostalgia lane to look at everything we can find on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. If you missed my video on Disney Princess Enchanted Tales, essentially I'm going down fact-based rabbit holes on forgotten shows and movies until my brain is in the mood to produce theories again. And not to sound like a total sellout, but Mama has 3 kids, so if this series continues to be popular, I'll keep focusing on this type of content. Which means, if there's a forgotten show that's sticking in your head, leave me a comment and I'll see what I can do. Also, special hearts to my fabulous research assistant, Danny Quinn, who's been so gracious to volunteer her time so that I can produce these videos faster. Okay, so you fresh folk who still have all of your working joints and cartilage may have only heard the names Bill and Ted put together during the media hype for 2020's Bill and Ted Face the Music. However, way back in 1989, the original film, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, was gifted to the world. It was a movie where these 2 high school boys with Valley Girl accents were gifted a time-traveling phone booth, which allowed them to collect a bunch of historical figures for the sake of passing a school assignment. Why, you may ask? Well, because Bill and Ted have a band called Wild Stallions, and it turns into this massive cult-like religion that takes over the planet and brings world peace into the future by encouraging people to be excellent to each other. However, Ted Theodore Logan has a father who will ship him off to military school if he fails a class. So, how else do you save the future but with a time-traveling phone booth and your best friend, William Bill S. Preston Esquire? You know, it's just what you did back then. Sincerely, this movie was quintessential 80s just go with it stuff. And we all loved it, and none of us internet theorists were there to pick it apart. Then in 1991, we got the sequel live-action film, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which is irrelevant for this video's purposes, so I won't get into the synopsis. But from September 15th, 1990 to November 16th, 1991, we were given Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. And yes, that's adventures with an S because it's a series, see? Clever, huh? This was a 21-episode animated series that bounced from CBS to Fox Kids. And in a near-identical vein to the first movie, the cartoon show features the titular characters using their time-traveling phone booth to solve fairly simple, mundane problems that absolutely should not have been worth risking the space-time continuum over. But show's gotta keep within its gimmick, right? Season 1 of the series ran for 13 episodes and was animated by Hannah Barbara Productions. This season ran weekly on CBS from September 15th, 1990 to December 22nd, 1990. And interestingly enough, Season 1 featured the actual voices of the principal live-action movie cast. That gave us the real voices of George Carlin, Keanu Reeves, and Alex Winter. Granted, back in the early 1990s, none of these actors were quite at the megastar status that they would achieve in later years. But still, that's a highly impressive feat to get film actors to voice a lower budget kids cartoon. That has to be somebody's passion project, right? Season 2 of the series was a much shorter 8 episodes that aired from September 14th, 1991 to November 16th, 1991. And the animation torch was passed over to DIC Enterprises, and the show got shifted over to Fox Kids. During the studio move, there were a few notable character design changes, but the most noticeable change was that the voice cast switched to Rick Overton, Christopher Kennedy, and Evan Richards. My assumption is that the previous voice talent were engaged in filming Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and with the movie getting a sequel, the actors probably wanted more money, so the animation studio made different decisions. However, in my opinion, the voice actor change is barely detectable because of the characters' stereotyped Californian accents that are already, let's be real, pretty cartoony.
I am Bill S. Preston, and I am Ted Theodore Logan. Maybe it's better this way, Dad.
Sherlock told you that you're reliable.
However, this actually gets more interesting because Overton, Kennedy, and Richards replace Carlin, Reeves, and Winters due to Fox creating a live-action Bill and Ted series, also entitled Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. And Overton, Kennedy, and Richards were the actors in the television version. And just to throw it out there, the live-action series was even more short-lived than the cartoon show, as it ran for 7 episodes between June 28th and August 9th of 1992. Now, what I personally find really charming about the cartoon series is that, unlike a lot of other live-action movie to cartoon adaptations, where they take a ton of artistic liberties to make the show watchable for children, the writing for the live-action Bill and Ted movies already have such a silly premise that the franchise easily slides into 20-something minute animated episodes in a way that is nearly seamless. And especially with season 1 using the same voice actors as the film, the animated Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures really feels like an extension of the movies and not as much of a cheap money grab to capitalize on a recognizable brand name. But unfortunately, even I don't remember the live-action series for Bill and Ted, so I cannot comment as to the vibe of that series in relation to the rest of the franchise. And there's very little information that I could find about that show. Even the show's Wikipedia page has no episode summaries. So if anyone has links or leads, leave me a comment. I'd be interested in learning more about the live-action series. Also, aside from 3 live-action movies, 13 episodes of an animated series, and 7 episodes of a live-action show, Bill and Ted could also be found in the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on the Atari Lynx and multiple PC platforms, as well as Bill and Ted's Excellent Video Game Adventure on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure, A Bogus Journey, or Bill and Ted's Excellent Portable Adventure on the Game Boy. All of these titles released in America between 1989 and 1991. And let's not forget Bill and Ted's Excellent Comic Book, which ran for 12 issues during 1991 and 1992. The comic was even nominated for an Eisner Award in the field of Best Humor Comic in 1992. But apparently, the book did not find its best audience, and not even an award nomination could save it. I suspect it was hard to continuously find sensible plot lines to force the boys to travel through time, but come on. I think that there's enough history out there to work with that it could have had a longer run. The short-lived comic series was reprinted in 2005 by Slave Labor Graphics, and then reprinted yet again in 2016 by Boom Studios. So if you want to check those out, they are available online, and I'll leave you a link in the description. And finally, Bill and Ted can sometimes be seen wandering around as face characters in the Universal Studios theme parks, particularly during their Halloween horror nights. In 1997, 1998, 1999, and 2007, Universal Studios Hollywood even had Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure show, where the duo encountered various historic and pop culture icons. Impressively enough, that same show ran from 1992 to 2017 in Universal Studios Orlando, with the final live show happening on November 4th, 2017. For a movie that has such a strange and goofy concept, Bill and Ted quickly became a well-known cultural phenomenon that expanded itself well beyond all reasonable expectations. I'm honestly shocked that we're not on like the 37th installment of the movies at this point. People love Bill and Ted so much. But what do you guys think? Was the cartoon series something you remember? If so, where and when did you see it? And if you never caught it, did the Bill and Ted craze ever catch you? Leave me a comment. I also have links in the description below, along with a link to my beautiful, beautiful Danny Quinn's TikTok. Oh, and hey, if you are on TikTok, look me up too. I'm Say Halo Goodbye. I might be overthinking it, but that's literally my job. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, "Hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that?" Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page, and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, TheFangirl. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Fanily and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share one or two on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos like you helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members.